సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ప్రాబ్లం, వైర్లెస్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఎలా హ్యాంగ్ అయ్యి ఉంటాయి.
మనం ఇందులో వాడుతూ మనం ప్రాబ్లమ్ చేయాలి.
దానికి దీనికి కనెక్ట్ చేస్తే స్ట్రీమింగ్ అవ్వాలి.
ఇది
బ్రో ఇది సార్ అని రెండు అంటకూడదు కదా, నువ్వు ఫిక్స్డ్ స్క్రీన్ పెట్టే ఫస్ట్, ఫిక్స్డ్ స్క్రీన్ పెట్టే ఫస్ట్.
అవ్వాలా ఈ విడి కలవకుండా కట్టుకుని చెప్పిన చెప్తాను.
Introduce yourself and then start.
So kind of you, Ravi. Good afternoon, folks. Hi, my name is Amal Raj. I'm representing a company called the DigiFac. It's a startup which I operate in a technology called OutSystems, which is a. I'm audible. I think not such a big, not audible. There's no interference with this. Hello.
Yeah.
Is this audible now? Am I audible? Thanks, folks. Yeah, thanks for having me here, Ravi and team. So I run a startup called the DigiFac, where I operate on a low-code technology called OutSystems. They're the world's leading low-code, blah blah blah. So I think I'm a tech guy, not a speeches person. So I'll briefly talk about what is low-code, how it affects. At least the idea was for startups, from ideas to a prototype, how does it help? And then after that, keep it interactive. Any questions you have, I'll be glad to take it. So how many of you all have heard of low code or no code? Because people use it interchangeably. So anyone wants to give their opinions? What is no code in your opinion?
So a platform which allows us to create our own interface without really getting into the things of coding and all that. I can just basically pick elements and then drop it and then
Okay.
creating the app.
That is no code or low code?
I think that's no code.
Okay. So anybody else wants to give a try? What is low code? Yeah, I mean, this is not a test. I mean, I just want to keep it in. Okay, great. That's that ends the discussion. Okay, just a one-on-one. See, I mean, if you look at the programming spectrum, at one end you have no code, which are basically custom-built platforms, tools, rapid application frameworks, multiple ways to call it, wherein with no amount of coding, or I will not even say minimal coding. Essentially, no code platforms are like some kind of a dragged off visual elements, wherein you can build some screens, hook up to maybe some APIs, do a little bit of data modeling, and then you have an app, maybe a web or a mobile app that you can deploy. That is essentially no code. And the other end of the spectrum, you have high code. I mean, typically, traditionally, we've been doing it Java, C, C++. Python seems to be the new favorite for everybody nowadays. And then in between this spectrum is where you have something called low code. See, I mean, if you talk of use cases, no code is essentially custom built for one specific kind of an application. There's very little that you can do outside of what the platform intends you to do. Say, for example, you have Betty blocks, you have a few no code platforms where the developers or creators of it have envisioned some use cases. And if you are able to retrofit your use case into it, it is easy. It looks like you drag and drop, build a simple screen. There is some backend data or some APIs they expose. So far it. So this has given rise to someone called citizen developers. I mean, essentially, these are the guys who are not IT trained, but they are good in their business, or they have some kind of a domain expertise, and maybe Excel folks who want to quickly automate something. So no code addresses that part. I wouldn't say not serious business. There's a hell lot of business there, but essentially it is not really geared up for enterprises. Because the moment we talk of enterprises, everybody says ours is the most unique use case, ours is the most unique platform, we have our own custom stuff. So that's where low code brings in the best of a bit of no code and a bit of high code. So what these no code or low code platforms essentially are doing, I'm not talking of low code, I think our friend here will demonstrate something. So what low code is essentially is serious productivity. When you want to build custom apps where you want to build your own logic, and but you don't want to focus on the nitty-gritties of syntaxes. This also is essentially still a kind of a drag drop, but much beyond that. I mean, it is a full stack. I mean, let me talk about why people would want to go to a no code. I mean, nowadays essentially two big problems that people are facing is time to market. I'm trying to put it in the context of entrepreneurs and startups. One is time to market. You can't really wait for 1 year, 6 months, 8 months to get something out. And the second part is once you're into the game, I mean, how do you ensure that you're able to change fast? That is change management. So the low code technologies are essentially trying to address these two things. I mean, your time to market, maybe you want to build an MVP, you want to prove yourself, build a small mock-up very quickly, but still serious stuff. I mean, we are not talking of just a throwaway prototypes. You can build serious apps using this no-code technologies very fast. And then once you're out in the market, how do you ensure managing change? Because if development is X, then typically it is 3X is what you spend for maintenance. So these are the two critical business drivers that are making companies go towards low code technologies. So I work for a technology called OutSystems. They are the world's largest leading, been there for last 20-25 years, and they are the leaders in the Gartner space. And next, just to name a few, Microsoft is coming up. I mean, I would still say kid on the block because they're just 3 years old. It's a Power Platform. So a Power Platform is essentially a low code platform from Microsoft. They're just getting into the leader space right now. I mean, they essentially are using the complete Azure stack, and it is still not for enterprise applications. If you really want to have B2C application with good user experience, Microsoft is not still there. I mean, it's just like you take some Excel apps, convert it, you want to connect it to your Azure, you want to build some bots. So they have again a fixed set of use cases. If you're, and the best thing they beat is pricing. I mean, on Azure pricing, you don't have to start high. It is just everything is in the cloud. They have something called a dataverse where all almost known data models are built in. So you fit your use case into that, then your data model is ready. You want to connect to SharePoint portals. They have around 250, 60 connectors out of the box. All so it's basically SaaS based low code platform. So these are the two important aspects: time to market and managing change. And some finer details for entrepreneurs who want to get into the tools is also you should look at no lock-in. I think the moment you are stuck into a platform and if they are generating some kind of a pseudo code, then it's always important to know the exit strategy before you get into something. So there are some platforms, for example, there is Mendix. Siemens bought it, is again a low code platform. There is second in the Gartner quadrant. So once Siemens bought it, now they are trying to position it into the manufacturing side, but it is Java like code, which means that you have to learn. As I told you, low code platforms are not no code, which means that they are open for extension. You know, whatever programming language the platform offers, you can extend the platform. As we say, it's a platform, it is for a multitude of use cases, and they don't envision all the use cases that a developer can do. So they keep it open ended, and these are the platforms that you could look at. And then also look at the no lock-in. When I said no lock-in, it is important that once you want to start small, the first year, second year, what do you do after you have come out of your early state and now you want to move to, then some platforms lock you in, which means that again you have to start from scratch, which is a damn expensive proposition. So look at open source platforms. When I say open source, not essentially they are some GPL or free licenses, essentially they are generating open source code, which is standard stacks, so that in case you want to exit out of the platform, you can take your code and then either hand code it or extend it, or you manage it yourself. So these are essentially some of the things that you should look at when you talk of low code. High productivity apps, I mean, typically people are talking of 20x, 30x, 50x productivity gains, and still they are expensive. I mean, because at this point of time, low code seems to be the silver bullet. At least NASSCOM talks in India, the low code, no code space for the next 3 years is around 25 or 50 billion, and the US market is 180 billion in the next 4 years. People are, I mean, if anybody is interested, I can share that report. Lot of low code, no code tools. I mean, the market puts them in the same bucket. People don't distinguish. People use that terminology very loosely. There's a lot of difference between no code and low code. So low code essentially still means that you need to have some kind of development experience, and you need to understand architecture, you need to understand scale, because you are building an application for enterprise, not something that you want 5 people, 10 people to use. So the learning curve is slightly higher than no code. No code is there. Most people, if you want to start small, do some quick hello world application business apps, low code works. But if you really want to do something serious, then you need to go to a low code platform. Yeah, I've been doing it for the last 8 years, been working with a lot of large enterprises and I've built apps. So any questions you want to ask me, I'll be glad to take it.
When is the right time to transition from a no-code platform to something that's a custom built? What criteria do you think we should keep in mind? Because I know for a fact it becomes expensive after that we start scaling up in terms of.
Yeah, but what do you mean transition? Because if you're on the platform, you cannot transition. Either you get out of it and rewrite everything in normal tools. I mean, that depends on ROI. I mean, if you have a good customer base and then you want to build, so some people do that in parallel. They use a no code tool, low code tool to just to get investors in or show that something works. And in parallel, if they have deep pockets, they also start up on their own custom technologies and build it in parallel. So the shift is smooth if you have the money. If not, sorry.
And this, I mean, you got the transition bit correct. So
Thank you.
Perspective, let's say if you're scaling up, right? So when you think that there is going to be a need for a custom software in the future, do you think it makes sense to go no code first and then go to a custom built software, or do you think?
I mean, why are you saying you want to go back to no code or the high code way?
Maybe because of custom logic requirements.
Yeah, I mean, low code does that.
Yeah, no code.
You could write your own. See, no code. I'm not an expert. No code. You have to ask Alok. What I have seen is no code is not really what enterprises are looking at. See, what the biggest challenge that I have seen in last 8 years is that enterprises have a lot of custom business logic, and that none of the no code platforms right now are solving it, because that's not the reason for building a no code platform. No code has a very specific use case. You want to build a marketplace, you want to build some screens, you want to do some data capture. The tools do it very well. But when you really want to say, hey, I want to build some kind of an insurance app where there are 100 set of rules, I want to talk to a workflow engine, all this requires integrations. And when you want to a lot of integrations, that's where I mean you hit the, I think that's where you hit the block with no code platforms. Whereas these low code platforms they're built on the premise that they have to integrate. So integrations are the key. So that's where you get benefits. And the same thing, I mean, if you want to start something small, look at the Power Platform, which has come a long way. It works on Microsoft 365 license, so you don't have to put any upfront investments. Yeah. Nobody's asking questions. Okay. Yeah, Ravi, you don't have to be a filler.
My app development started because I spoke to one friend. Initially, I built one app for like 14 lakhs, really take it to market. Then I realized I was about to start spending good money. And then one of my friends I went and said, you can buy this out of Evanto or Code Canyon and you can just customize it. So, is there some person that can help? It's a low code one or no code one, you can start with. That is, I think a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with that. First, is there an alternative that you can start with? Low code or no code?
Yeah.
That's more
The base minimum cost of the app that you should have before you even look for that. So because it's pretty costly.
See, okay, some platforms give you a free space wherein, I mean, either you have a limitation of the amount of, see, all of them by default, these platforms are working on the cloud. So that's why they're SaaS based. So some platforms give you a free environments, personal environments, where if you want to prove an idea, not really take it to market, they are free. That is free. I mean, OutSystem, that I'm not here to market OutSystems, but if you want to use a free environment to try out your idea, then you just sign up. I can show you the link. Then you get a free cloud space environment on AWS that you can build your idea proof of concept of complete, full-fledged, all the features included, except that the database size is limited. Then you can try it out for free. I mean, the learning curve is not very high. I mean, for no code, it's very low and it's slightly there because you still need to understand the platform, how it works. And the biggest thing is mind shift change. I mean, everything is a carpenter, every tool is a hammer to a carpenter. So most of it, what I've seen is people try to jump back to the traditional way and say, we will write our own extensions. So unlearning is important. I think what the prerequisite for using low code is problem solving skills. So if you are able to envision a problem and want to solve it and you don't care for the syntaxes, low code tools help you find that solution. So that answers your question, no?
I think it does partly. What I'm saying is that a lot of times the idea guy is different from the execution and the IT guy.
Yeah.
I have an idea. A lot of times when you meet the right guy, you go to some company that's in that and say, oh, we need to build this custom. We have a great idea. Let's build it all custom. And they ask you for the full stack and everything. But what's the right go-to person or someone who can see the different platforms where it exists? Where you can
There is no one. I mean, it's like saying what is the right technology for software development? It's an open-ended question. I cannot answer that. But see, if you are looking for somebody in low code where you want to, if you are looking at low code and you want to see how do we take an idea very quickly into a prototype stage, maybe you can talk to me. So my company does that. Yes, sir. Yeah. Sit. Why do you want to stand?
There are so many coding enthusiasts who want to start with HTML, CSS, and all.
Yeah.
But there are few no-code tools which are like replacing these languages, and for a heavy coder, it is like quite depressing.
Okay. Yeah.
So my question here is low code making the coding enthusiast demotivated to learn the language and start it from basics, or else it is helping?
Okay. You are a student?
Yes.
Okay, I can understand. Okay, so let me counter that. Are programming languages making people learn programming languages and become experts? I mean, there are Java, C, C++. I mean, is it motivating all the developer community to go and jump and say, I want to learn Java, .NET and become expert? No. So there's nothing, in my opinion, there's nothing like coding enthusiasts or developers. I mean, if you are trying to solve a problem, whatever tool works for you, you do that. And what is all low code about? It is not taking away the skin out of the game and saying, okay, you become lazy. It's automation to software delivery. Now, do you want to do that? Now, again, I'll just answer that in some questions so that it drives the point. I mean, now that there are tools for testing, does it mean that, I mean,
Walk over.
okay.
Yeah. Leaving.
Hello? Audible? That's what I'm not talking. Hello? Yeah. See, now that manual testing is almost becoming non-existent, right? Does it mean that people don't want to get into testing? See, I mean, it is software is evolving. I mean, gone are the days. Maybe some professors are here. They would have used Fortran punching cards. At that point of time, people would have felt that PC is is making taking away the sheen out of it. So software is evolving. So there's nothing like it. It's only that people want everything yesterday. By traditional means, are you able to solve that? Great. If an high code can do it, nobody would want to look at low code. It is just that, and also, I mean, look at all these great resignation stories, people jumping out, companies saying, hey, we are giving 100% hike year on year, still people are not staying back. So there's no one aspect. So it's a trend. So whichever is trending, people will try to, now almost everybody I talk to says that we only want to learn Python. And if I ask them the reason, they say it's easy. Now, does it mean that all the programming enthusiasts are learning Python because it's easy or there is a market? I don't know. But all I can answer to your question is, I mean, you still need to see low code is not a no code. It sounds like a cliche, but you still have to, when you want to extend the platform and say the tool is not offering that, then you have to dirty your hands and write code, be it in HTML, JavaScript on the client side, React on the front end, or Java, .NET in the back end. You still have the ability to extend the platform. That's where low codes are enablers. At this point of time, I started out with these two things: time to market. If you want to learn a language which takes 1 year and then you want to start programming and then build something, or is there any tools which are able to, maybe you start in 1 month. So low code is all about automation to your software delivery, not just delivery, it's both development and DevOps. Almost all these the traditional means you need to have a test engineer, you need to have a DevOps engineer to deploy it to the cloud, build your containers, manage and orchestrate. So now these platforms, whatever can be automated, they have automated it. It's just become like a SaaS. So you focus on your problem, and if you're able to solve it faster by these tools, then you do it. So there is still a huge demand for people who are good in traditional languages, and low code is trending. because Gartner says by 2024, 75 top 75% of all the Fortune 500 companies are going to use low code. So that creates a hype. Whether that hype is generating demand or because as a demand people are going towards it, I leave it to your imagination.
Small doubt.
Sure, sir.
Layman, extension to my other friend's question, would have used low code. He said no code is very disruptive and how do you justify? No code means there is no code at all. No? What as a layman, what I understand.
Okay.
How, what is the rationale behind putting that no code? Without a code, there is no nothing can be done.
I think from what I understand.
And also,
Okay.
as per the recent skills survey, coding is one of the critical skill required among our students.
Yeah.
So, as a layman perspective, just I'm asking. I'm not a software guy.
Okay, sure.
Just to understand.
Okay. I'll try to answer that. I'm a pure software guy, but I'm not a layman. See, basically, when we say no code, what we are saying is that it's not that you are not coding. That's all it means. Code is still there. Somebody else has built. See, in the 60s, no, it's not. It's just a buzzword. I mean, people like to put things into buckets so that we can understand. If not, it's all program at the end of the day. You call it no code, you call it cloud. It's everything is software running somewhere. But we understand we like these nomenclatures of putting things in buckets so we can understand the concepts. So no code means essentially you are not coding. It is a visual way of doing so. You are not getting into syntaxes. You don't know any programming language. The platform is smart enough to help you build it. I mean, even this was there. I mean, what are compilers? I mean, compilers are also the same which happened in 60s, 70s. You're writing some code in English or some grammar, and then it is converting it to a binary that your machine it runs on. So this has been there. Then the world came about rapid application tools. Then VBs and all that were like, I mean, you drag and drop, you build forms. It was there. It's just that it has evolved to a stage where you can really build complex applications. And now the buzzword is now called low code, no code. But essentially, it has been there almost for all the time.
Not your own creation.
No, I think this must be, it is either Gartners and Foresters would have coined, low code is coined by Gartner. So it's just a class of applications.
Sometimes, okay, it's acceptable because it is relative. So compared to the earlier days of writing programs in a coding in a big lengthy codes, but now we are trying to reduce it to by way of doing automation.
Yeah, by no code, all we are saying is that there is already a code generator hidden on a platform. So you're just enabling it is pre-built components, pre-built widgets, some pre-built logic or APIs. So you're just marrying all of these concepts to give it to a use case. I think I leave some questions to Alok also.
No, once I show them
how
how
Yeah,
it
yeah.
works, then I think they
Okay.
understand. You want to
Yeah. So any other questions before I sign off? Anything else you want to know about no code?
tell where you are. So
It's
that
like
people
working on simulate. Just to pull it and put it on the screen.
Yeah, but it is not so simple because I mean, a tool with a fool is still a tool story. So if you are trying to build, I mean, for example, Singapore Defense builds their complete defense systems and on technology called out systems. So when you talk of scale, when you talk of architecture, when you talk of all the big concepts, security, you just cannot say that just because you don't know, you still have to put that thought into it. Maybe no code platforms take that away from you. So that's where it has given to a new term called citizen developers. So these citizen developers, their job is not, they have not learned formal programming languages. They are not software engineers or developers, but they still have a lot of domain expertise. And if they are doing something in Excel sheets, they are doing something manually, if you can automate it. So that's how this no code tools solve that, but they have come a long way now. You are still able to build decent sized applications using no code technologies. But most people don't understand is that I mean customizations is not very trivial when it comes to no code, because you might have maybe end up twice or thrice the effort to really build a custom feature because the platform is not open. And at the end of the day, after I don't know any tools which will let you take the code out and go away in the no code space, because they don't make any money. If not, everybody would use it like a code generator. You SaaS it out for 1 month, you build everything you want, take the code out and you check out the platform. And we are very smart at that. So that's where I think no code hits a wall when you really want serious customization, but low code is open for extension. So you want to write your own queries, you want to connect to your own databases, you want to connect to your own cloud instances, it enables you to do that. For that you need to understand programming, maybe not the traditional way you need to know syntaxes, but essentially how to use the connectors. And again there is a huge crop of work because somebody has to still build the tool, somebody still has to build connectors. So to answer to your friend, to our friend there, you will still need programmers to build those components that no code people can use or low code can use.
BPM tool is a
BPM is one aspect of the full stack.
full stack, but there's
Yeah,
got
business
everything.
process workflows are there. I think BPM, KISS flow, there are lots of tools which are only focusing on some aspects. So you have the ability to take mix and match some of these tools if you have the in-depth knowledge or time, or you just rely on one tool and build your skill there, so that you build enterprise web and mobile apps using the same tech stack. So that's the promise of low code, saying that serious productivity apps, and the logic is inside the platform. So even if there's some developers leave, it is a visual model, so people understand visual models better than I give you a 60 lines code in C++ and I show you a visual model which is like a flow chart. I mean, obviously you will understand the flow chart. That's how our minds are geared. So these are some of the value or benefits that the enterprises are finding. This churn, so at least I see that people are willing to pay for a platform than to pay for people who will run away. So that's how things are, and more importantly, everybody wants everything yesterday. So if some tools are doing it, at least the promise is there. People are willing to experiment. So any other questions?
Where are you located to client something so that
Okay. Okay. Now
What
I
do you
have
do
to
for
wear the
clients?
mark. What do I do for a living?
No,
Well,
no, no, clients
okay.
that you have and what you
Sure.
applications.
Yeah. I mean, as I told you, I started out, I represent the DigiFact. I mean, I am one of the training partners or the only one in India for a technology called OutSystems. They're a Decacon, the world's leading low code platform. And I am also a certified trainer. So I train the Deloitte's, Accenture's, Capgeminis of the world on this technology. Just that I had a head start, but everybody is catching up. And I also do services. So some of my customers in the NBFC space are IIFL, India Infoline, Motilal Oswal. So the NBFCs are warming up much better in India. They want to build all these field services applications. They want to build this policy selling applications. They want to build partly connected solutions, and they want it very fast. And they want to integrate with their back end banking, non-banking solutions, which low codes are providing. So rather than having large teams, almost all the large players, they invest in multiple technologies, and now managing these teams without having a proper oversight is also, that has again the problem. One other problem with no code is also shadow IT, because non-developers can do it. In IT, people are able to build their own applications very quickly, so they don't have an iota of what is the issue of security, but the application they're writing and deploying, what people can do. So it gives rise to a kind of a shadow IT. So which is, again, not everything is hunky dory there. So, but in large enterprises, people have the bells and whistles, or people have this governance framework of managing these tools and frameworks. So any other question? Okay, Ravi, did I do a justice?
got it. But
Okay,
your
I
client
do
also-
software development. I told you Motilal Oswal, DevWorks, TCS, Infosys, Wipro. Leave it at Infosys. It's not yet done. Deloitte,
Yeah, still a
Accenture.
client,
So these are my customers,
Yeah, Amalraj,
sir.
since you are trying to do a very unique kind of a service, you said you are the
Doing, sir. Trying and doing.
yeah, this is the first time in the country you have been trying to do
To-
this kind of a technology development and offering services. What do you think about protecting your creating a brand through a trademark or some kind of a design? Or,
See, I mean, I don't own the IP of the low code platform, and whatever solutions we develop for customers, they own the IP. So if I am building my own product, which also I am doing, so that is my IP. Then
as
I,
of now, there is
yeah,
no-
as of now, the services chunk is much higher and low hanging fruit. So I am not
just
going down
wanted
the
to
product
explore that,
development.
wanted to explore that.
Yeah, yeah,
If there is any possibility to protect your IP, we are here to
sure, sir. I know. I mean, you are the chairperson for the IPR, so who better than you to reach out?
make use of our services.
Yeah. So as I told you, my focus right now is to evangelize and grow. I mean, if, as Gartner saying, if it is a 187 billion industry or $50 billion industry, I would like to make at least one of it staying here. So that's the first. And then product. I've been building products for a long time. 25 years I've been working. Yeah.
Product, but even your
Year is just a number, sir. Yeah.
logo, you create a logo for your company. That is how you build the branding, loyalty for your services.
Sure. Yeah, definitely, sir. Yeah, I'll reach out to you.
As of now, you don't have any logo for your company.
I have a logo.
You have a logo.
Yeah, it's copyrighted.
It's got-
Yeah, yeah. Compare OutSystems and Power Apps. Okay. I mean, it will be biased because I represent OutSystems also, but I'm also a Power App certified developer. Any technologies out there, I like to learn that. So Power Apps is still nascent. It's a sleeping giant. I mean, if I have to talk in cliches, it's a sleeping giant yet, but they are not really at this point of time geared up to do enterprise scale applications. I have not seen. I have not seen. So that's the emphasis. I have not seen anybody using Power Apps to build large systems, e-commerce platforms. They are doing business applications. Internal business application is what Power Apps is right now geared for. I know a lot of companies. So they are trying to operationalize their internal paper forms, their internal approvals. These are what they are trying to use Power Platform for. But Power Platform also has a fourth dimension, which is they have something called Power BI, which is one of the four pillars. Power BI is interesting because you can do analytics and everything. And then you also have VPC, which is virtual chatbots, which are all of them are configured. So these two aspects are pretty interesting, but they themselves will not stand alone when you want to build interesting apps. So I mean, for B2C, customer experience is primary, and these apps still look like they're web applications on a mobile phone. So that ends the and OutSystems has got a 21-year-old head start. So I mean, it takes time. I mean, some things 9 months for a baby story. So some things are still traditional. It takes a lot of time. But in next 2 years, I think at least again my naive prediction, in next 2.5 years, Power Platform will be very strong. I mean, last year they had around 40-50 connectors. Now they have around 260 connectors. You name it, you are able to connect it. And in all enterprises, all about integrations. Nobody wants to build it everything custom. So if there is a nice, powerful SaaS tool, you want to integrate it very easily and not reinvent the wheel. So that's where these tools provide those integrations. In that sense, Power Apps is strong. But at this point of time, you go by Gartner, not me. So both of them are in the leaders quadrant. So does that answer your question, or was I vague? I don't know. Yeah. Any other questions?
Unrelated to the platform, like unrelated to the IT bit, behind the scenes business aspect. So, like the no-code tools is just about getting those people start their MVPs and stuff, right? And like as a business of there, it is not ready to go to the custom end of things.
I don't know. See, basically, that's what I mean. Some of these no code tools also are maturing, right? I mean, some of the things we are talking about when no code was just to do simple apps, but they also know that they have to compete with. See, the biggest competitor for these no code, low code tools are high code, which is programming people, because you get the complete flexibility. So whatever you can do on high code, these tools aim is to match it without having to get into the details. So even no code platforms are not static; they built one and stopped there. So they are also innovating. They are also trying to slowly see over some time. Maybe this no code, low code buckets will all go away. I mean, there'll be some smart guy who will say, okay, Alexa, build me this e-com website like Amazon, and then automatically. See, it's all model driven development, even no code, low code. I come from a compiler's background. So if you have a model, you want to generate code into C++, the model can do. You want to spit out Java code, the model can do. So all these things are essentially model driven only. So that's how they're able to generate code. This has been there. I mean, now it is getting visibility because time to market, managing change. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Everybody wants to build the next unicorn. So it's good, and anybody who is trying to help them achieve that is in turn becoming a unicorn. Yeah. So anything else, folks, or you want to be kind enough with Alok also and throw some questions? I'm happy to take all the questions. I mean, I've been doing it for the last 25 years. I'm a programmer at heart.
Plan for that camera is not going to work because it fits the image. It won't be visible anything clearly.
Yeah.
We're trying to get an HDMI cable to system, then that will be there. In the meanwhile, I think we can continue with the picture. Start a picture.
Okay, I'm done. Thank you for patiently listening on a Saturday afternoon. Yeah. ఇస్తున్నాను అన్ని ఇస్తున్నాయి. I don't want anything else. Thank you.
I'll do it. I'll do Sorry? Okay. Yeah. Hello. Okay. Yeah. Hi. Good afternoon, everyone here, ladies and gentlemen, respected delegates here. So my name is Satvik. I'm a law student. Finally, a law student from the Department of Law, Andhra University. So we are the four co-founders who created Aquaform India. So generally, what is Aquaform India? So Aquaform India is an aquaculture company. So it's like a modern aquaculture company which uses technology to grow the fishes. So when we talk about what the problems we are trying to solve, so there is a sea fishing, right? Uh, the thing we go to the fish market and we buy the fish, which is really not a sustainable option right now, and which is too much expensive. That is not only that point. We also have the sea fish has many flaws regarding the sustainability. Maybe it's illegal fishing, bycatching, whatever. We can just see the Seaspiracy documentary with the Netflix. We can understand how hell will be like the life of a fisherman in the sea. So later, the another solution we got is the river fish. Hunting fish through the river, and very well known. India is meant to the highly polluted rivers ever seen. That's what we can also see. We have one or two global water purity index, which is critically low, and also river fish is losing its quality day by day, and also there is low supply because it all affects by the weather and environmental conditions. So you don't know how much fish we get when the fisherman went to the hunting in the river. And there is the another good alternative, which is also the worst thing, is inland fishing. So that's what we primarily focused on. So inland fishing. So this inland fishing literally uses water, which you can see it's like you don't think it's a fish or you think it's a lake, and it needs like acres of land, like 30, 40 years. Maybe it's a matter of land, water, and there is no such inland fishing without any usage of chemicals. The fishes, I don't know whether the fishes eat the food or chemicals. We have seen a lot of chemical induction in the inland fishing, and also when there is in cyclones and other climatic traumas, the whole thing is gone. The farmers literally commit the suicide. So we have thought these problems, and we have created Aquaform India. So what we can do for this is simple: indoor fishing. So how we can do this indoor fishing? So Aquaform India will use this technology called RAS. It's recirculating aquaculture system. Simply, it has a tank and a filtration process, which is a continuous filtration process. It removes all these bad things like nitrates and whatever the urea and excretia by the fishes continuously, which these also have the UV filters, biofilters, etc. And this is completely automated. Like you don't need to go on off the switches manually. This will be done by the system continuously. So not only fishes, you can also grow shrimp, crab, and every possible aquaculture product uh, through our systems. So what is the uniqueness of our systems? Or these are customizable forms. Like if you want to build an aquafarm in your terrace, like if you want to build a tank in top of your terrace, you have maybe a free space of 100 SFT, then you can build a customizable form. It's not like an specific, it should be round, it should be this length and width. There's no like that. The minimum should be like tank capacity like 25,000 liters, and you're ready to go at any area, at any tank you want. And this also gives the faster returns than the other aquaculture methods. Like here you can take harvest for every 6 months, which is two harvests per year, which really gives a faster returns in the faster time, and it is risk free from the climate. So we have designed an aquafarm basic unit, which consists of two RAS tanks having total 180,000 liters of water. These have the capacity to produce the guaranteed 16 tons of fish per annum. Yes, really, the two tanks can produce 16 tons of fish per annum. It's specifically categorized into four type of varieties, but also we are working on other fish varieties which even give you higher weightage. So, basing on of unit economics and calculations, we have fixed the price for the $25,000 in this segment. Like in the $25,000, you can buy this unit, the 16-ton capacity unit. That's a first product we are introduced in the market. So the people who may are not affordable the 25,000, so we came up with an franchise model where we put the 70 to take another, sorry, we give 30 to take another 30 from the revenue. And when we talk about this market, Andhra Pradesh is our initial primary market, which has a high demand for the fish and but not enough supply. And also we have like $1 billion of annual turnover in this fish market segment, inland fish market segment. And also the total uh, persons involved in this aquaculture is more than a lakh. I mean, in terms of inland fishing. So who will be our targeted customers? So these people will be persons who would like to grow their career in aquaculture. We can also see in recent times there is an Assam girl who earned 15 lakhs by constructing an RS farm in her backyard, and also like supplying this fish to the existed B2B chains like Meteon or Leashes or something. These people who would like to buy the high quality fish. And our market strategy is simple. Uh, right now everything is based upon the social media and promotion, so that's why we primarily targeted on the SOE strategy, where we are working on the website. So we are hoping that we will be generating traffic to our website or to our products, and also making an partnership with already meat delivery apps. We have already a partnership in the Rajahmundry, but it's a local meat delivery app. And when we talk about how much you gain through this model, like $25,000 investment, so we'll get the revenue of 63,500 US dollars per every year. But during the first year, the ROI you put, you may not get the higher returns because of you're putting a lot of investment here. But when you see the see in the second year, you don't have the cost of production. I mean, not cost of equipment. So from the seventh year, you are expected around above $50,000 of profit for your from your tank. So this is not only just we are doing a business. This is the way that we promote the sustainability. Like we can support the local farmers and new enterprises, and a single farm can provide the food for the 550 families and really help to satisfy the four SDGs of the United Nations. So these are not just words. We have created a lot of progress. We have designed a basic IoT model from the Raspberry Pi, uh, and also we have established a delivery partnership, and we launched our MVP in the Eluru, which is the 25,000 liter tank currently working. It has generated our first sales of $175 in the 2021, and we have totally earned like $6,000 till now. So our MVP tank is in basically bioflux tank which don't have the automation, but it gives like a 1.6 ton produce 1.6 ton fish right up to now. So aquaform IoT is not kind of like a patentable thing or not. We have used the general things that are available in the open sources platforms like from Raspberry Pi and Raspberry Pi. So Raspberry. So we have used this all to the sensors, and we have monitored the levels, chemical levels in the tank, and we have made several changes, and still we are struggling to develop the IoT model. And that's not a word. We created our own website where people can order fish in the bulk, or order to build any kind of their own aquaform. So this is our team, and also we have our beautiful mentor Ravi sir, and our favorite nearest person to our heart is Aditya Arora sir, who is the CEO of FAD Network, and all respected members. So our social distribution model is pretty simple. Like if one person come reach an aquaform India, and he requests to put an aquaform, so we will perform the necessary testing. After the testing, we will supply him, if the test was passed, like the land he has, the water source nearby, we will supply him the equipment and the seed and feed, necessary feed for the cultivation. And later on, he may get the aquaform from a direct purchase or by franchise. So our product distribution after the harvest, where he can our customers can sell bulk orders via uh, trucks or any for the shops and restaurants, like as I said, Meteon or Blinkit or whatever it may be. Or we can also send it by you know customer to reaching the customer directly by selling a small stocks of orders. And Aquahome India's had made a little success in the previous year. So we have won the Hull Prize on campus, so crossing approximately more than 30 teams. And we also the winners from the Hull Prize. We are also Hull Prize regionals winner, where we have defeated almost the 250 teams, entire globe. And also we have came runner up in the TIE grant in 2021. And our university, we are all the university one who went into the UK accelerator, and we have made a better progress in the UK accelerator, and we have learned a lot of things in there. And we have also stood like winner at a Friday pitching, and also a crowd favorite in the entire mm, accelerator program in the UK. So we are the only startup from the law college. So there is nothing called the whatever it may be related to business in our curriculum or something. But we are the persons who are real passionate about. All we want to do is a business and earn money. So and also we are the first startup from the university who gain 1 lakh rupee of research funding. And that's it. Aquaform is not a just a vision. It's a process of story making and storytelling that we are trying to do. Okay, so thank everyone. So Aquaform India, happy for my healthy customer.
What is the objective of the pitching?
Which one?
The pitching is for
Basically,
create
see,
awareness.
any questions? Now you know. Because there are again accuracy. Connecting people with similar things. Somebody might be interested in it. Somebody might want to invest, or somebody wants to mentor. And some of the most students have. There are a lot of people who pitch like first time there's an organic. They wanted some help for digital marketing. Somebody gave some student volunteer. Why I came forward, and then they said they came forward. So they're all trying to find help, trying to find mutual anything that they can do. They're now their aqua processing team out there. People think they can help him out, or even I don't know what. I just tell you, in a similar sort of a setup, which was previously pre-COVID, when it happened, just before pre-COVID, I was in one meeting, and I landed up investing a crore. So anything can happen.
Okay, that's what
And
you wanted to understand the purpose of this pitching.
yeah,
We can
just basically people to know what these are things that are happening, for the person to be able to find maybe partners, mentors, investors, or even help.
that's what they spell out in their introduction. The purpose of this pitching is
No, Yeah. Yeah, open for questions.
Yeah. Any questions?
So what's your cost of meat production when you go with RAS?
Sorry?
And producing meat to RAS, what is your cost for taking your fish?
I calculated it coming around 301 rupees per kilogram. That's for 16 tons and 62,500 turnover.
So there's two different costs. One operation cost.
Whatever
Talk
it
about
is,
operation cost. Talk about the
So,
calculations, turnover, the same fish is available for 200 rupees in the market.
no, sir. Like,
I am
see,
buying regularly.
when we are doing this thing, as well, so it depends upon the variety of fish. Like this fish, some we get 200 rupees, even 150 rupees. But the Coromenu you can't get for that price.
You are not
Yeah.
even Coromani in your
If I show all this Coromenu, Burdamata, all those things,
Coromani, of course, they are expensive.
yeah, it's an expensive fish that you can go tank brilliantly, and also you can grow crab or shrimp, which will give more than 500 rupees even at the wholesale rate purchases.
And second question is,
Actually, just on the same point, I think it's very important to show the pictures that you can actually do. More, I would say it's actually more important than showing that you're the first startup from AU as a doctor. I think you should place more importance on what is the fish that can be done and what is the price that will be given.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. And coming out. And any competitors? I mean, are you guys only unique people doing it?
No,
Do you have competition?
no, we are not only the person in the market. There are already existed RAS firms here, but these are like own individuals who made with their own ideas and technology. They import the technology from China or something, and they mostly end up with a failure. Because growing fish is not easy as possible. So it requires an understanding the fish behavior patterns, it feed, what it eats, and its health capacity. So when you expect a one ton of fish in this month, you will end up having 20% of your expected. Remaining fishes eventually die. So aquaculture is not an easy thing. That's what I'm saying. So we have attached the technology. I mean, advanced technology here we are using. Yeah, yeah. So we are analyzing the nitrate content in the water. Yeah. I mean, so we are entering. There are a lot of toxics are released in the water because they are living in the tank means they are eating their own wastage. So removing it is the ultimate process that everyone should do. So what these people don't know is they take it very lightly. So the fish will eventually die within hours. If you don't turn on the filter in a day, the next day you may expected a losing of 10% of your tank. So that's what happened.
who is the domain expert in your field?
Right now, there is no person in our place, but in Telangana there is person called.
In your
Yeah.
team, I am asking.
So right now I am the only.
You are not
The,
a specialist background.
so yes, sir, that's what we are. As I can say, even I'm from the law. We have learned a lot of things. We have went to the ICAR Kakinada. We went there. We have learned how to grow fish in RAS. They told us they learned on like in 7 days. We went in Kakinada. We should sit in the campus, and they have told us everything.
Some specialist technology person there in your team that will help you try to get someone on your board. Okay?
Yeah.
Second thing, what is the guarantee that you are not infringing somebody's intellectual property rights?
Sir, right now RAs don't have this is sir aquaculture agricultural.
As such, can't assume like that.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, if you are successful, somebody can file a case against you.
Yeah,
You are infringing the right
even in Hull price when we are pitching about for 1 million, where is the competition price? They asked about is there any IP you holding in your technology? But RAS technology itself in the public domain, so that is not patentable technology. Even if you
there is no barrier for you, protection for you. Anyone can, who has got money, anyone can enter into that.
yes sir,
You should not
but
have this kind of a technology as a startup.
yes,
You should create entry barriers for others.
yes. So agricultural aquaculture is these are two fields where IP is seen very less. So all we are trying to do is this is a biggest failure project ever in India, sir. RIS Technologies. So it's a yeah, yeah. So this is a thing that we need to develop in terms of
This
well,
kind of technology has been put in demonstration at Research Development Board at Hyderabad. Did you go there?
yeah, yeah. We went to the ICAR, sir. So in
Research
ICAR,
Development Board is a central government initiative.
mm,
They use tanks of what you are showing here.
yeah. So it process of blue revolution or something they have initiated to.
Visit there.
Yeah, it's there, sir. So RIS in both salt water and water, fresh water you can do. So this is also called pen culture, cage culture. They have introduced a new, but this is the
Any input from friends of the case culture?
yeah,
Any input for them? You're in the case culture, right? Oh yeah, you can do that. Yes. After that, yes, yes.
yeah.
Something interesting for you. Yes. That's all. What next? I mean, I'm just curious. And again, this time I'm a layman. I mean, you have done this technology. It is there, so you're just going to tap it out for some amount, right? What is the next in terms of innovation? What next will you do? Are you going to stop here and just multiply and make it big? Or is there a roadmap to do something different? What is the roadmap?
So in our 2021 roadmap, which we are still following, we have only sticking to only run with the RAS. There are multiple terms, even there is a technology to grow pulsar, which is under development, highly complex RAS culture. There are a lot of things, but aquaculture is the billion-dollar business. You need hundreds of crores of investment. That is not something we can do in our garage or something. So we have only stuck to the RAS technology where we can do in the backyard. So after getting any investment, seed funding, or generating any traction, so we can start thinking to experiment any other technologies in this regard.
Roadmap are a point of if you want to grow and if you want to make an appeal to the investors, you should have a good roadmap. Next 10 years, this is a kind of a business opportunity we would like to pursue.
Yeah. Yes.
My only question: have you got consistently to 15 tons for every year?
We have only the pilot project here.
The customers, first of all, that who are buying for you, they won't be that educated guys. When you pilot it out, then much of research go into that. Maintaining the farm. My experience in chicken farms, I tell you, when you do easy farms are very good farms, technology high. But if you don't monitor your farm for even 1 hour or 1.5, the whole flock dies. The performance is way worse than open shed farms, which is exposed to everything because you can at least control the air moves out. It's a closed system. But it's closed. You're not monitoring, so it's a very highly technical people need to monitor the farm and you're franchising it out. Most of the guys who you franchise will be laymen who don't know anything. They'll end up corrupting the whole system. They'll lose all their feed in one point of feed. First, 80% of your cost is feed cost.
Sometimes it may be cost above 80. Yeah.
So we grow the fish and they die in 1.5 hours, they die.
Hmm.
That's the reason. I'm just saying a lot of times you don't see easy farms in India also because of that. Because we don't have the capacity when you go to the farmer level, they don't have the capacity to monitor it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what that. Yes, so that's what I said. Even 1 hour is enough to kill 10%. So that's a kind of risk involved in this sector. So that's why I'm right now very worried about this, and we are on this IoT models and monitoring models. Even yeah,
Advancement, you should highlight.
for that we can file an IP if we developed the technology. Like we call it as RRAs, remote recirculating aquaculture system, where no one have to do this. One can operate from anywhere else in the world. He can control the levels in the tank, and that's it like a safety for him.
One of the toxic elements, which kills the seed, that is able to monitor and when it's corrective action.
Yeah. Yes.
That is the technology you should master.
Yes. Yes. So any questions? Yeah.
No, one to one. Okay, one last one.
Sorry.
Crabs. Once they can be extended to crab culture.
Sir, definitely, sir. All the crustaceous, including crab, shrimp, mud crab. Yeah, mud crab is the number one thing that we can grow in the RA system. There are a number of types. In sea, the crabs which we grow on the seawater cannot be suitable for the RA culture. Mud crab or the crabs generally we have seen in the Andhra Pradesh in nearest in the ponds or fish lakes. We can do that. Like we can't do like coconut crab or something that's not suitable for the RAs. Mud crab is the only thing. Like 80% of the crab culture in the RAs is the mud crab. Like a single piece you can expect above 150 grams like weight.
You have a functional prototype.
Yeah. Yes. It's in Yelur.
Okay, I think
Yeah.
we'll move on. Thanks,
Yeah.
Satvik.
Thanks.
I think a round of applause for a law student getting into aqua, marine, and using IoT and AI. So thanks. Okay, good.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, I think we somehow did some jugaad and somehow made the parallel this thing. Keep trying and jugaad. This is what's happening. Don't leave it. वो नहीं होगा तो छोड़ को जाए.
So, anyone want to volunteer for? Okay. Busy eating, huh? So, anyone good in Excel or Google Sheet wants to try their hands on building an app, web app, are pretty welcome. Or if anyone has an idea, you want to try?
Go.
Come.
Go, man. Come on. Try. Only try. Training.
We have a young kid here.
Your friend is not here?
Yeah, he is not here. He did not.
Okay.
So they can show the demo, no?
Guy from an ATL called After Tinkering Lab, 8th standard guy. I think I'll leave it to him to tell what all he can do. I was so impressed that I said my incubation hub, the whole website is going to be developed by these guys. I'm going to pay them for that. Okay, go ahead. Good job.
No, you want to operate the laptop?
So what should I do?
I'll tell you what to do.
Yeah.
Okay, one volunteer for an idea. Like if anyone want to have an idea when they want an app developed for that. So reserve the seminar hall. Okay, let's. Fine. So please take a seat. So on just give here. Give it the title. Type the title here. No, here. No, that's okay. In here, yeah. Title. TITLE. Okay. Next, give here image. No, capitalize I. Image. Okay. Then details. In the third, details. Okay. Next, give the title as booking app, seminar hall booking app. Yeah. Okay. Image we will just take out from somewhere. I don't want to search for seminar hall. Seminar hall. Yeah. Go to images. Okay, take any of the image. Yeah, click on this is the, yeah, right click on it. Open image into new tab. Open image in new tab. You need the image URL. Yeah, right click on this. It's okay. Right click on it. Open image in new tab. Yeah. Get that URL. Copy that. Paste the image URL here. Okay. Come here. Okay. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Go to details. Yeah. This app will help you book a seminar hall. Okay, fine. Right. Rename the sheet 1 as main or home. Yeah. Rename. Make it as a home. Okay, fine. Add one more sheet. Sheet 2. Rename it as current, maybe current status. Fine. Let's give maybe dates. I'll give a column date. Sorry. Yeah. Dates. Okay. And booking status. So I'll just take like you must be seeing on the home page I have given title, image and details. Okay. And I have added another sheet called current status that will show the status of the booking app. So for the sake of the time, I'll just take for the day wise. We won't go in the time wise, but same it will, like, we can extend to the time wise also.
Say one unit of 1 day.
1 day, unit of 1 day. Okay. So dates, you can just keep a few dates, 5 dates or something like that. Yeah, you can just give the today's date, maybe 20th. Yeah. Yeah. So just extend it at the bottom. Yeah, 21. Like, you can just scroll it down. Oh, this.
Okay, like that.
Booking status and fine. Booking status, yes and no, yes, no, yes, no. Okay. Yeah, it's okay. Now let's go to the glide section. No, go to the tab glide. Yes, no code demo. Go to glide app. Continue. Yeah. Go to Google Sheets. Continue. Yeah, no code demo. So we got our home page of the app. Okay, and then you can go to the current status. Okay. Now we need to change the source and make it list dates. Okay. So now do one screen and click on here and come down. We need a yes, no, switch. We can go to switch. Yeah, click on this and click it here. Yeah. Okay, click on this. Fine. Go to the no code app. Yes. Yeah, it will refresh. It will come here. No, okay, just a second. Just a second. So we have to get that. We have to go for the booking status. Okay, let's go with the booking. Huh? Just a second. No, it will automatically. So the idea is, if you switch on the tab, it will automatically say the yes or no there. So, yeah, just a second. Let me make it change. It's not showing the data somehow here. just a second. We go check it out. Fine. You can scan this URL and get this a very simple app, booking app ready. Nothing. Okay, just a second. Let me disable that email thing. Yeah, leave it. Okay.
Okay, now.
Got it? Right. So what you can do, you can check out the home page with the description and details. In the current status, it is shown the date. You can click on that individual date and right. Please write. No, again that. So again, this is a pretty simple. We are not using any user authentication kind of a thing. So right now there is a single source of truth, yes or no, for every user. But yeah, it can be extended due to the shortage of time. We won't be doing that, but it can be easily extended where a user can give their email address and it will be tied up to that user for they want to book that hole or not. So any doubts, any questions, any queries? So they have a lot of templates like available, like e-commerce routine, like this directory thing and all. So everything is possible. Yeah, you can just slide it and you can book. Like when you slide it, it says that it's booked for you. It's not a mobile app, but you can easily convert that into a mobile app APK. Yeah, there are tools available which can convert this into, like you basically what you do is you use a web view and get an APK out of that. If you want, I can show that also.
Does it automatically?
Yeah, it will come on our homepage. No, it's a short URL only.
Okay.
It's not an APK.
Okay.
It will be you can install it and it will come as in a home, like link as in your screen.
All my the seminar also are now going to be. We have that big problem. We like add time also. Huh? Like add
No,
time
it can be extended.
Unit of this thing will be about half an hour.
So what do you guys say?
It's easy. I don't need to be a computer engineer.
Okay, thanks, buddy. Nice, we can continue with the next. Yeah. Yeah, what's a good name? Mohan. Okay, thanks a lot, Mohan. Yeah. Okay, I'll ask. Yeah, we can go with the next presentation.
Yeah. Now we can back onto that the laptop. So thanks. Final jugaad happened. We didn't let it go. Okay, like this. That's the. Okay.
So
we can disconnect that.
yeah.
Connect it back. We have to.
Oh.
pitch updated, sir. This one. Yes.
Okay. Quickly, 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, sir.
Huh?
Side project stack करके है.
So should I switch it off?
Okay, okay, आप
नहीं कर सकता. Okay.
Okay. Am I audible? Okay. So myself Satyaram Mohan, and I'm a research scholar in Geoengineering Department, Andhra University, and I also run this startup called as Starry Stories. So as you can see, it's a creative social enterprise, and firstly, we started this organization in order to inculcate scientific temper and spark curiosity among the children of India. So I hope everybody is familiar with the word scientific temper. So it's the way of living life in a scientific way. So mostly, so that's what the main intention of our company is. And why do we need STEM? I think most of your people are familiar with this STEM. I think in previous days, most people are unaware of STEM. But most recently, I think everyone is familiar with the word STEM, where STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And in the 21st century, all these children, so right now, all these sirs and everyone is telling about coding and all these things. So people are into technology. So not just technology, but people should come up into the fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics rather than choosing the government jobs or any other jobs. So our main intention of starting this organization is that people will choose their career mostly in the field of STEM. So that is the main objective of our company. And why we started this and why we are doing this is mainly we observed three problems. That is the old teaching method. So if you can look at that picture, that is a classroom. It was taken in the year 1900 somewhere. So as you can see, if you look at this picture, and if you right now, if you go to some other school, even in Visakhapatnam or any other place, it's the same way of teaching. So there is no change in the way of teaching it's been done. So what we want to do is we want to bring in new teaching methodologies so that we can improve the way of teaching. And also you can look at the second one, that is no quality content. So whatever the content that is being delivered to the students, so there is a lag in the content. So I don't say that the quality of the content is very less, but there are some limitations in the content and we want to improve the gap. And also in regional languages. So most of the content which we prepare will be in Telugu mostly because we're from Andhra Pradesh, and also we want to extend it to some other regional languages as well. And the last one is career guidance. So most people, why do they don't choose the career in STEM is because of the lack of career guidance. So through our organization, we want to solve three of these problems. And as you can look from this, how we are adopting from old teaching methods to new teaching methods is by doing hands-on. So with just like the traditional, if you look at the traditional, only the classroom, the blackboard and everything. So rather than that, so every chapter which they are having in physics, mathematics and other subjects, so that the students will engage in hands-on activities. So this is the main idea of the Starry Stories. And what we are doing right now is we are working on many things. So Starry Stories, so actually the main problem with a startup is we are very immature in doing business firstly. So we don't have a proper plan on how to run a business. But the thing is, we are having lots of subject expertise. So that one we can purely say that we are having lots of subject expertise. And right now we are working on STEM labs. We are setting up some STEM labs in certain schools, and we are organizing workshops, and we are also preparing resource kits for students as well as teachers. So this is what we are doing currently, but we also want to do some other things in the future. So as you can see, these are some of the models which we have built. So these are done primarily by the 3D designing. So initially we do the 3D designing, and later we convert this 3D design into the intended product. So using the laser cut technology. So all these toys, whatever you see here, are functional. So everything moves, and mostly everything works without any electronic parts. So everything is mechanical. So this is an example of the gear reducer. So that is a model called as gear reducer. And as you can see, this model is a mathematical model called as the dodecahedron. So we are not just teaching them, we are not just confined to physics or engineering, but there is lots of mathematics going on, which we teach using these models. And as you can see, that is the model of an globe. So mostly geography, that subject geography will also be covered in our part. And that is the tangram. I think everyone is familiar with the tangram. So these are the activities when we go to schools. We organize workshops. As I said, we are doing workshops in certain schools. So we are we have organized many workshops. As you can see, these are some of the pictures where students are engaging in hands-on activities, where they are learning science and mathematics using the models rather than just the classroom teaching. So as you can see, there are several models. And coming to my background, how did I learn all these things and what is the thing that you should learn from me. So that is the main thing. So we have collaborations with IIT Gandhinagar, ISRI Pune, and also TAFR. So I'm having lots of friends, researcher friends, scientists, and I've also worked at IIT Gandhinagar as a project assistant for quite a time. So I'm having lots of expertise in this domain, and I've been doing this work since 2017. So I think that will be the qualification for me to do all these things. So right now, as I told you, we are not into business that much, so we are not in expertise. So rightly, we are working with the 2 schools and 2 educational centers, and our products are being used by 2 organizations. So we are our products are being used by KGBBs as well, so government organization. And our products, whatever the products which you saw earlier, so those products we have sold around 50K worth of products in the last year. So by 2023 August, we want to reach out to 20 schools and 10 educational centers, and we want our products to be used by many organizations, not just the private ones, but by the government organizations as well. And we want to sell 20 lakhs worth of products. And the third one, the main important point is we want to. This is all the offline things, but we want to come up with an online idea. So that is the new thing which we want to venture into. So for that, we want to increase our subscribers on YouTube up to 100K, and we want to have a paid subscription model for the digital content which we are preparing. So that is the goal for August 23. So as you can see, why digital model is because during the lockdown we have connected with over 1,000 schools all across India. So I was having friends in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and all these places. So there I connected with all the students in online mode, and there we gave the lectures both in a theoretical way as well as in a practical way. So they brought up their own things from their home, only the materials which were available in their home, and they made the experiments and they learned a lot of things. And we got an excellent feedback from the students as well as the parents on how these things went on, and they were continuously engaged in all these things. And later on, after the workshop also, many students were interested in learning new things from the textbook as well. So this increased their attention, so that we can proudly say. So this is our target market. So that is primarily the parents. So as you know, parents are the stakeholders here. So the for the children of age group 6 to 14, and the school managements and educational centers. And many, if you look at many educational centers, there are many people who are doing the same thing, but mostly most people what they do is they don't prepare their own models, so they try to purchase somewhere. So we are the one who want to give those products to them, so we want to be that contributor for them. So yes ma'am, yeah, there is lot of products being copied. If you look at any company, so if you look at Smartivity, there are 100 companies like Smartivity, they're doing the same thing. Actually we are not protecting it right now. We are not protecting any of our products right now, but in future we are planning to protect particularly some products, so which we feel that those are very unique. So in the future perspective, we want to create high quality video content in both English and Telugu. So that would be our main objective as of now, because already we have invested a lot of time in making the models. So we already prepared 150 plus models. So we have done lots of research in model making. So in the video content will be combination of animated videos plus the physical models. So using both of these 2 things, the students can understand their physics and math concepts in a better way. So that's what we do. And of course the online store, already we have an online store, Itzy, so not Itzy, Instamojo. So on Instamojo we are doing it, but that's not a full-fledged app, as you know. So we want to do our own online store. And the career guidance, as you can see, so there will be a separate portal for career guidance. And at the last, we want to come up with a gamified app in which they can, so I think many of you people are familiar with the Brilliantly app. So in the same way, we want to build an app so that they can make their maths and physics concepts better. So the thing is, you may think that we are venturing into many things. We are not focusing on products, but I want to convey that for anything, the content is the main thing. And we are actually very good at content. So only thing is we have to work on all these things. So the content will be same for everything. Only thing is these are different platforms in which we can connect with the people. So this is our social presence on Instagram. We are having 3,000 followers. And we have also come up in newspapers, several newspapers, but I have kept only the English newspapers. In Telugu newspapers, we have come up in many Telugu newspapers. So this is my team. So initially, this is the first one. That's my name, Satyaram Mohan. And Vamsi is the 3D designer who designs all these toys and all. And Mr. Chanakya, who is with us in the audience. So he looks at all the operations and he's also responsible for preparing the content. And the other people, these are the content writers. So if you look at Sauri, she is from ISRI Pune, and all these people, we are in collaboration we're doing it, and of course we are having some mentors from Andhra University itself. So yeah, this is about Starry Stories. Thank you.
Any traction so far, or any investors invested in your company?
No, sir. No, this is the first pitch we have given right now. So we haven't gone to any pitches. So that's the reason why we don't have anything that clear.
What is your traction? You have some traction from revenues?
Yes, sir. So we have sold our products up to 50,000 worth of products, and we are when we go to schools, they pay us money. So to private schools, we are working with them. So that's what right now we are. It depends. So as of now, we are charging per kid. So we are charging around 350 rupees per session. So session will be around 2 hours. Yeah.
How old is your company?
Initially, I started it as a hobby in 2017. I was exploring all these things, but all these models and everything we have started last year. So last year August, 1 year, sir, almost 1 year.
You are registered with BPIIT as a startup.
No, sir. No, we didn't did any registration as of
So
now.
that you get a lot of benefits for doing it.
Yes.
After I didn't talk to you, you'll be getting some social impact grant.
Yes.
You might be very much eligible for that.
Yes.
So get yourself, because this all becomes mandatory by 2020.
Yes.
If you want any government support, it should be registered with BPIIT.
Yes.
So you mentioned about digital content, right?
Yes.
Are you thinking of integrating VR to it? Virtual reality?
No, actually, when we spoke with some of the experts in this field, they asked us to include the VR and AR into this, but actually we are not having the coding background and everything. So that's the reason why we don't want to go into new things which we don't know.
Yes.
No coding is required.
Yeah, yes, sir.
If you want to help, you can contact me.
Yeah, sure, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a important space you need to fill it up.
Yes.
Particularly for kids, to apply all these features.
Very important, because start in LKG, UKG, first standard, they give us Lego blocks to
Yes,
build
sir.
something. After that, by heart, repeat by heart.
Yes,
repeat.
sir.
So this becomes very important.
Yes.
So also look at senior, 10 has been there for quite some time.
Yes. Actually, I didn't include it, but we are doing Steam, sir. So I haven't mentioned there, but we are doing Steam.
Where are you located?
We are incubated in Andhra University itself, sir. Virtually incubated at Andhra University, but we have our lab at NAD, sir. So we are doing all these things. We took a small office space and we are working there. And
Yeah, good team, good product.
thank you, sir.
Need to scale it up rapidly.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Check.
Yeah, no? Thank you. How many of you watch Marvel comics here? Batman, Joker. Yeah, movies. Yeah, you read comics and movies, right? Joker, you remember Joker and his famous dialogue? Why so serious? Let's have some energy in the room. Can we have a big round of applause for what you have seen so far? That wonderful presentation from no code. Though I'm a very non-technical guy, I didn't understand what is happening there. What I could understand was using an Excel sheet, you could create a program or something. And then good presentations from Aquafarm, and of course, my favorite Starry Stories. So, can we have a big round of applause for all these three wonderful people? Now, don't ask me why am I asking you to clap so many number of times. Actually, I am tensed, so I'm relieving it myself. So today, I'm KK, not just today. I'm KK. My full name is Krishna Kiran. I'm the regional mentor for Pick a Book Vizag, and it is my privilege to stand in front of you and review an absolute business classic written by Jim Collins called Good to Great. Okay, this is a wonderful book, and why is it so wonderful? We'll just uh, good is the enemy of great. How many of you agree with this? Why are there so many good people in the world? Because there are no efforts to become great. This is what author says. Okay, whatever I am talking now is the content of the author. So you have any questions, you can contest with the author. He is available on LinkedIn, wherever you can find him. Don't contest with me, right?
The motive behind you to talk about him.
I'll just come back to that, sir. There is a big motive only, but slowly I will unfold it. So first we'll start with my introduction. As I told you, I'm KK. I'm regional mentor for Pick a Book. I'm also an entrepreneur. We are working on a startup called Rolls Mama, where we are trying to create an alternative to Subway with Indian foods. Okay, ma'am has her eyebrows popped out. Ma'am will talk about my pitch sometime later. So I'm also an event manager. We own a company called Party Fizz Events and Entertainment Services. And if you know some infamous events that happened in Vizag, like Araku Balloon Festival or Vishakhapatnam. So we are the guys who manage the ground operations for those entire mega events in the town. Uh, why did I choose the book, and why, as your question comes, sir, and why this author? Nothing much, sir. I was asked to speak to a group of entrepreneurs. I thought this will be a good book to talk to. Nothing more than that. We see why in the first case is the necessity for such a book. How many of you read? How many of you read this book? Okay, okay. I'm at a safer zone now. Only few people, and sir, we can bargain later. So you will not intervene. Okay. So in the year 1996, Mr. Jim Collins, who is the author of a wonderful book called Built to Last, okay, where he wrote about 18 companies who are actually, who have actually become larger than life by themselves. So what have they done? How are they built is what he has done. So in the year 1996, when he met a group of thought leaders like us all here for a dinner, one Mr. Bill Meehan, who is the MD of then MD of San Francisco office of McKinsey and Company, called Jim Collins and said, "Jim, your work is really great, but though we love it, I think it is absolutely useless." Now here, Meehan is talking about a book which is a global bestseller. It topped the lists for 25 weeks continuously, being the bestseller, and he simply said, "I think your work is useless." Now, instead of getting offended, Jim asked him, "What do you think? Why do you think, Bill, that my book is useless?" Then he said, "See, whatever the companies that you have written or whatever the research you have done is about companies who are from the beginning set to become great because the founders, because the investors, people, everybody working for those companies were actually already great. Now, what about those companies who are good and who are taking steps to become great? Can these companies really become great, or can they continue to become good?" Now again, Mr. Jim, instead of getting offended, he thought that this is a wonderful point that the bill has made, and this has given a base for a research which said can good companies become great? Or is the disease of being good incurable? Why disease of being good is incurable, or why being good is disease? Because just because you're good, you're complacent with it, you will not work towards your greatness. All the entrepreneurs who made their pitches today, your pitches are good, but make them great. That's when you attract a lot of customers, lot of investors, lot of many things to your organizations. Okay. Now, this research, Jim has taken it very seriously. He has hired about 25 people, a team of 25 people who worked for 5 long years. That's a cumulative of 10.5 years of man hours that they have put in. They have researched about 1435 Fortune 500 companies between 1965 to 1995. And from 1465, I think this is it. From 1965 to 1995, they have picked up 1435 companies, and then they have used a very strict research criteria, and then they have actually filtered them down to 11 good to great companies. And why are they good to great compared to what? So they have picked up 11 more companies, from the similar industries, working in the similar environment with the same product line, more or less the replica of each other, but one has become great and the other remained to be good or lost its market. And then they have also picked up 6 unsustained comparisons. For a short time, these companies have become good to great, and then they fell. They never made a comeback. So they have studied all these 28 companies, and then after about 3,000 articles that were published by the research team, about 2,000 manuscripts of interviews that they have done with the CEOs and other leaders of all these 28 companies, and of almost 356 gigabytes of data, they have come up with this book called Good to Great. Okay, I'll do my best to just brush up on the topics. I hope this will be a refresher to those who have already read this book, and it will be an inspiration for those who have not read it. Please pick it up and read. Okay, these are the companies that we're going to talk about. Good to great, 11 companies. Direct comparisons, 11 companies, and unsustained comparisons, there are 6 companies. So when they were doing research, okay, there these good to great companies, these the researchers have actually hypothetically created a black box, and they said that these good companies which have remained good for years, like decades, they have entered into a particular black box and they suddenly transformed into a great company. Now nobody knows what is there in the black box, and these researchers, they have set out to find what is there in the black box. Now when they were switching on each light, they were able to find out certain facts, very simple facts, but meticulously applied. Before we further dive into the discussion, I would like to tell you all a story. Okay, this is a story of a Indian farm boy, Indiana farm boy. He used to work in the farms during the daytimes, and in the night he used to attend school. Life was very difficult for them back then. So during one of his days works, he had actually cut off his finger, and on the same night he had to appear for an exam. He has actually endured all these hardships. He has given this exam, and then he passed the exam. And with such dedication, he actually made into Harvard law school, and he eventually became a lawyer. With all the dedication that he has put in, he actually secured a very good job in one of the leading companies back then. He worked with the company for certain years, and at one point of time, the board of the directors has actually chosen this guy to be the boss. Now he himself questioned his own abilities. He said, "Do I have something that makes me a boss?" In fact, one of the board members pulled him aside and said, "See, these people have taken a wrong decision. Don't fall for it. You have nothing that can actually make you lead this company." But he became a CEO. CEO he was. CEO he remained for the next 20 years. Categorized into three things: that every good to great company had discipline in all walks of life, that is period. Without discipline you are going to do nothing. Then they had disciplined people, they had disciplined thought, they had disciplined action. Now for us who are startups, let us fix this frame into our mind: disciplined people, disciplined thought, disciplined action. This is what investors are looking for, this is what customers are looking for, this is what your employees are looking for. If you want to attract right people into your system, this is what you should have. This is what all the 11 good to great companies had. Now what we first spoke is about the level 5 leadership. What is level 5 leadership? As Darwin Smith has been slogging all 20 years as a CEO of a particular company, he has never given an interview to any of the corporate magazines. He rather preferred to accredit his success to all his team members, and whenever the team said no, we have done nothing, it's all the credit of Darwin, then he said no, it's a stroke of luck, I have done nothing, I'm blessed with the environment, I'm blessed with great people. So he was always shy. During his holidays he used to go back to his farm, work in his farm, like moving rocks and boulders, planting trees. His favorite passing of time was to move around in his cab with a black hoe. They never have fallen into that kind of thing. They said something went right. They said it is because of my team, because of that gentleman, because of that lady, we are able to do this. And when something went wrong, they said it is all because of my decisions. That's how they were. And then whenever the team said it is not our thing, or the luck, just the success has come because of their decisions, they said no, no, it's if it's not because of the team, it's just stroke of luck. I have done nothing. So they stayed on the ground all the while when they were leading these companies. As I told you, in times of failure, they took the responsibility. They said it is because of me, so I am going to get it right. Now those entrepreneurs like me, who want to start up, who want to set up companies, please understand the qualities of all the leaders, or level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. I won't be able to discuss all the levels in the stipulated time, but it's not that all of a sudden you become a level 5 leader. It's a process of evolution. But let's start a journey towards it, so that one day we all become great entrepreneurs and we don't remain good. The second, the most important thing is, all these 11 companies have become good to great have first thought who and then what, right? We all define missions, we all have glorious visions, we have core values, we have corporate objectives. We do all these things before we start a business. But even then it was too late. They could not revive because they have lost it altogether. So the thing is, whenever we are putting together a team, first look for right set of people. Okay. When we say right set of people, getting onto the bus is equally as important as getting off the bus. We never know who is the right person, right? Until and unless we start the journey. Once we start the journey, we might understand that this guy is not right for this journey. So recruiting a right person is as important as getting the wrong person off the bus. So here the author suggests that all these companies were rigorous. They were not ruthless. Like somebody is not doing well in the role, they said, okay, maybe he's in the wrong seat. Let us change the seats. And if you study the history of all these 11 companies with this kind of philosophy, they were actually very low on layoffs. Whereas the comparison companies who had a different approach, there were a lot of layoffs happening. Something is not going in their way, layoff, recruit new people. Something is, the results are not coming up, layoff, recruit new people. So here the author suggests there are three practical ways here. When in doubt, do not hire. When you need to make a people change, act. Put your best people on your biggest opportunities, not on your biggest problems. And I recommend you to read this section of the book twice, thrice, maybe 4 or 5 times for you to understand things really, really well. Because in a good to great transformation, And these 7 long years, he was not given any prisoner's rights. He was tortured and he was actually forced to submit, but he did not surrender at all. Okay. So after 7 years of survival, because of all the war and all the injuries, he could not continue in Navy. So he joined Stanford University doing his some research doctorate program. So it's then Jim Collins had this opportunity to interact with Stockdale, and he asked, "How did you survive? And who are those who did not survive?" Can you guess who did not survive? Sir, you have read it, sir? Oh, sir, you are disqualified. So all the yeah, sir, you can please share. So all the optimists are the ones who have died. Contrary to the fact, we know that we have to have optimism, we have to be optimistic. Here, the optimists have died. Why did they die? Because they were optimistic. They were thinking something will happen, we will get out by Christmas. Christmas came, they didn't get out. Then they said, no, 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 this Easter something will happen, we will get out. Easter came, they didn't get out. By the next Christmas, they were heartbroken. By the next Easter, they all died of heart attacks. Now he said, I know the brutal fact that I may not ever get out of this prison. I may, never meet my family. But still I kept, I held on to the faith that I will prevail. And then you should read this story. It's a small article that you find on Google. I know. Doing what you love and what you are good at, you are happy but you're poor. You're not making money there, right? If you're doing what you love and what pays well, guys, that's a dream. Confront the brutal fact. And if you're doing what you're good at, and if you're doing what pays you well, you're rich but you're bored, right? So find that particular, the center where there's hashtag win is written. Find that area where you are doing something that you're very, very, very passionate about, that you are like, this is for which I am born. This is my entire purpose of life. Find something like that. See, you may be good at a particular thing, but you may not be ever become passionate about that particular thing. So find not passion, but find what is the thing that you're passionate about and start working towards it. There are other things that we would like to talk to, but because the time is pressing, I will stop this presentation here. I recommend that you pick up this book, Good to Great. Read it, not once, not twice, not thrice. Most of the companies that the book is talking about are not there in the market today. Some of them have got crashed out in 2008 stock market crash. Still, it's like this, that all the laws that are being discussed here is like laws of physics. Okay, things might evolve, but E is equal to mc square, E is equal to mc square forever. This laws that are given in this book will remain laws of this, laws of business forever, no matter